Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you to my channel. Today I will discuss naturalism. Naturalism is an extension and refinement of realism with the addition of pessimistic determinism. It originated as a French movement. The term was invented by Emile Zola. Naturalism is based more on scientific studies. Naturalism was inspired by Charles Darwin and Hippolyte Taine. Zola believed people's actions and beliefs resulted not from free will, but from arbitrary outside forces of heredity and environment. Darwin's theory of evolution is the basis for the naturalist writer. Natural selection and survival of the fittest help to depict the struggle against nature as a hopeless fight. Formula goes heredity plus environment plus chance that is equal to fate. Naturalists saw humans as one of the pack, not individuals. Emile Zola coined the term human beasts to demonstrate this thing. It is direct opposite of romanticism and transcendentalism which saw nature as holy or mystical. Naturalist literature. The term naturalism describes a type of literature that attempts to apply scientific principles of objectivity and detachment to its study of human beings. Literary realism traces back most directly to Emile Zola's The Experimental Novel of 1880, which details Zola's concept of a naturalistic novel. Unlike realism, which focuses on literary technique, naturalism implies a philosophical position. For naturalistic writers, since human beings are, in Emile Zola's phrase, human beasts, characters can be studied through their relationships to their surroundings. The naturalists believed in studying human beings as though they were products that are to be studied impartially without moralizing about their natures. Naturalistic writers believed that the laws of behind the forces that govern human lives might be studied and understood through the objective study of human beings. Naturalistic writers used discoveries and knowledge of modern science to study human life to write their novels. Naturalism believes that a writer must examine people and society objectively and, like a scientist, draw conclusions from what is observed. They studied human beings governed by their instincts and passions as well as the ways in which the characters' lives were governed by forces of heredity and environment. It deals with raw and unpleasant experiences which reduce characters to degrading behavior in their struggle to survive. Naturalism is a reaction against the emphasis on the ordinary lives which realist writers portrayed. Naturalist writers insisted that the extraordinary is real too. Instead of middle class realities, naturalist writers wrote about the fringes of society, the criminal, the fallen, the down and out, depicted real people in real situations like realism, but believed that forces larger than individual, like nature, fate, heredity, shaped individual destiny. Characters are mostly from lower middle or lower classes, poor, uneducated, unsophisticated, etc. Despite their underlying powerlessness, characters generally conduct themselves with strength and dignity in the face of adversity, thereby affirming the significance of their existence. The protagonist, upon to multiple compulsions, usually disintegrates or is wiped out by the end of the story. Naturalist works tend to focus on the darker aspects of life, including poverty, racism, violence, prejudice, disease, corruption, prostitution, and filth. Resultantly, naturalist writers were frequently criticized for focusing too much on human vice and misery. It is a facts only approach like thing that avoids realistic solutions to problems. Naturalism or naturalist writings aimed at bettering the world through social reform, bringing a situation to the eyes of the public so as to improve it. Key themes of naturalism in literature. The brood within each individual, comprised of strong and often varying emotions, passions such as lust, greed, or the desire for dominance or pleasure, and the fight for survival in an amoral, indifferent universe. Determinism. Free will does exist, but the will is often enslaved on account of different reasons. We also find the themes of forces of heredity and environment as they affect and afflict individual lives. Survival. Survival is another key theme of naturalist writings, in which we see man struggling against nature or man struggling against himself. The indifference of nature as man struggles to survive. Reality is the bitter reality, the inescapable working out of natural forces. Destiny is decided by heredity and environment, physical drives, and economic circumstances. Discussions of fate, generally, the controlling force is the society and the surrounding environment. Thank you very much.